It was a quiet Sunday morning in London when the entertainment world woke up to a headline that nobody expected. Barış and Elçin Sangu married in a private ceremony in the UK. The news spread like wildfire. Within minutes, social media platforms across Turkey, the UK, and beyond were flooded with astonished reactions, fan-made posters, and endless discussions. Some called it the love story of the decade, while others admitted they couldn't believe how quickly things had unfolded. What made this revelation even more shocking was the speed of their romance. Just a few days ago, the pair were complete strangers. They met not on a film set, not at a celebrity gala, but in the most unexpected place, a bustling shopping mall in the heart of London. It feels like a scene out of a romantic drama, but it happened right before our eyes, said a boutique employee at the Westfield Mall, where the first encounter reportedly took place. They weren't even trying to draw attention, but when their eyes met, the chemistry was undeniable. According to eyewitnesses, Barış had been shopping casually for a new jacket, dressed in understated jeans and a dark coat, blending in with the crowd. Elçin, radiant even in simplicity, was browsing nearby. Fate, it seems, had arranged the meeting. They bumped into each other near the escalator, another shopper recalled. It was one of those cinematic moments. He smiled, she smiled back, and the whole atmosphere changed. By all accounts, the two stars couldn't take their eyes off each other. What followed was not a rehearsed celebrity appearance, but something far more human and spontaneous, a conversation sparked by shared laughter over something as trivial as struggling with shopping bags. While fans are used to on-screen romances, few could have predicted that the chemistry between the two actors would leap so seamlessly into real life. Sources close to them confirmed that the attraction was instant. They exchanged numbers right there in the mall, a friend of Elçin revealed. By that evening, they were already having coffee together at a quiet cafe in Notting Hill. From the start, there was no pretending. They connected on a deep, natural level. In a world where celebrity relationships are often carefully managed, this one was refreshingly genuine. They weren't hiding, they weren't staging photos, they were simply two people who fell head over heels in love, without hesitation. And then came the announcement, marriage, after only a few days of knowing each other. Many were stunned. Some questioned whether it was too fast, while others romanticized the spontaneity of their decision. A British journalist put it this way. In an era where love is often overanalyzed, their boldness is refreshing. They didn't wait for public approval, they followed their hearts. The fan communities of Barış and Elçin, who had long admired their on-screen chemistry in past projects, exploded with excitement. Hashtags like Barış Elçin wedding and love at first sight trended within hours. I've always believed they were destined for each other, tweeted one fan from Istanbul. Now it feels like a dream come true. Meanwhile, others were more skeptical. Marriage after a few days? I hope it's not just a publicity stunt, one London-based critic remarked. But whether celebrated or questioned, one fact remained. Their story had captured hearts across the globe. As Londoners went about their daily lives, paparazzi began flocking to spots where the couple had been seen. From cafes in Kensington to riverside strolls near the Thames, the city had suddenly become the backdrop of a whirlwind romance that felt both cinematic and real. For Barış and Elçin, however, none of the noise seemed to matter. According to a close acquaintance, they're not focused on the outside world right now. They're just happy. It's like they've built a bubble around themselves, and inside that bubble, only love exists. And so, what started in a shopping mall aisle has now blossomed into one of the most talked about unions in celebrity history. The story begins not under bright spotlights or on a glamorous red carpet, but within the bustling walls of Westfield, London, one of the UK's busiest shopping malls. It was late afternoon, the kind of time when the mall is buzzing with life. Families with children, groups of tourists, and hurried professionals filled the wide corridors. Among the crowd that day was Barış Arduç, the Turkish heartthrob known for his charming smile and natural charisma. Dressed casually in dark jeans, a navy sweater, and a leather jacket, he looked like any other shopper. Few recognized him immediately. After all, Londoners were more accustomed to Hollywood stars than Turkish ones. On the other side of the same floor, Elçin Sangu strolled leisurely, carrying a light shopping bag. Her flaming auburn hair caught the light of the glass roof, making her hard to miss even in a crowd. She wasn't surrounded by assistants or managers. She looked effortlessly elegant in a cream coat and ankle boots, like any young woman enjoying a quiet day out. Near the escalators, their paths crossed. Barış, in a slight rush, accidentally brushed past Elçin as she shifted her bag from one hand to another. The contact was light, but enough to make her stumble slightly. He immediately turned around, his expression filled with genuine concern. "I'm so sorry," he said in fluent English, his voice calm but warm. Elçin looked up, startled at first. Then their eyes locked. That moment, described later by eyewitnesses as the spark that changed everything, stretched longer than expected. Neither spoke for a few seconds, as if silently stunned by the encounter. "No problem. Happens all the time in London," she replied, her voice carrying both politeness and an unspoken curiosity. Shoppers nearby quickly noticed the unusual tension in the air. "It was like watching a movie scene unfold," said Charlotte Williams, a London University student who was standing behind them. "At first, I thought they knew each other already because the way they looked at each other, it wasn't ordinary. You could feel the energy." Another witness, an employee at a boutique across the hall, recalled they didn't seem like strangers. The way they laughed a little awkwardly, the way he offered to carry her bag for a moment. It was like something straight out of a romance drama. Instead of walking away, they lingered. What began as an apology turned into a genuine conversation. They chatted about the mall itself, the stores, even joked about how heavy shopping bags can feel after just one or two purchases. When you meet someone and immediately feel comfortable talking about silly things, you know something special is happening, said a close friend of Barış, when asked later about his version of the story. By the end of their brief chat, the two exchanged numbers. According to sources, Barış was the first to ask. His approach wasn't rehearsed or suave, it was simple, sincere. "It would be nice to grab a coffee sometime. London has plenty of good spots," he said. Elçin, usually private about her personal life, didn't hesitate. She handed him her phone, her fingers brushing his as she saved his contact. When news of their shopping mall meeting leaked, fans reacted passionately online. Some joked that they would start spending more time in shopping malls, hoping to find their own Barış moment. Others admired how such an ordinary place had sparked such extraordinary love.